Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful, to all my graceful audience, Assalamu alaikum. I'm Rahmat Empowerment Wala, striving to achieve self sustainability for me and for the people alike. I'm host of this interview series named Empowering Minds. In this interview series, our object or our aim is to call upon such honorable and prestigious guests who have not just explored their own minds, but empowering other minds too. So, to serve the purpose, we have Jasmine Patel with us today. We try to talk to her. We try to gain knowledge from her, and let's see how it goes. So let's start the conversation. Hello, Jasmine Patel.
Hi, how are you? Nice to be
I'm
here.
great. Thanks for asking, and thank you for your time. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, not a
So,
problem.
Jasmine, tell our audience who is on the other side of screen.
All right, hello everyone. It's nice to be here. It's quite an honor being on Ramat's show. So thank you, Ramat. Bye, brother. So I'm Jasmine Patel, and I'm originally from the United States, but now I'm living in Canada. I am the author of 3 books: You're the Love, The Universe is the Heart, You're the Love Passport, and Waves of Kindness Passport. I am also the host of From Me to We with Jasmine Patel, a Facebook Live interview series where I interview people all over the world on connection, communication, and collaboration. And but most importantly, I'm someone who loves to make new friends and learn new things, so I'm looking forward to connect with y'all. So yeah, that's all about me.
Excellent, excellent. So you said you used to live in USA, now in Canada.
Yes.
So what was the reason you went to Canada, and what difference have you feel between these two countries?
Well, the reason why I came here to Canada is, well, my husband, Dr. Pravin P. Patel, is living here in Canada. So I wanted to be with him, so I came up here. And what I love about Canada, at least where I am right now, is the cultural diversity. Like there's so many people from so many countries and everything. And there's a lot of Pakistanis and Indians living here. And like, they're the culture is amazing here, and everyone is so friendly and nice. It's unexplainable. I did not experience that when I was living in the US.
Excellent. So many people said that Canada is second Punjab. Is it true?
Second,
The Indian
um,
Punjab. So many Sikhs live there.
uh, I mean, I I know there's a lot of Indians living here in Canada, but religion wise, I'm not too sure about that. But yeah.
No, many people said that there are lots of turban people. They wear turbans and
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen quite a few of them. Yeah.
excellent. Okay, you said you are a writer of 3 books. So, what was the inspiration behind the writing and authoring these books? Why did you write these books?
Okay. Well, I'll start with You're the Love. This actually started back in January 19th, and me and Craven wanted to write the book You're the Love, as you can see. But thank goodness we did not write it and finish it last year, because if it weren't for that, then this book you see right here would not be as powerful as it is. So, really, the inspiration is, well, love and my husband and everything else. And the second book, You're the Love Passport. Uh, if you hold on a second, I'll get the other two. Hold on a second.
Sure,
Be right
sure.
back. I'm back. Yeah. So the second book, You're the Love Passport, is practically the smaller version of You're the Love. Say if someone doesn't want to read this huge book, they can read this and get the summarized version. It's the same thing but smaller. And well, the inspiration is the same. After we wrote this book, we wanted to write a smaller book, and then the last one, Waves of Kindness Passport. This actually goes back to when I was in high school. When I was in my LNA class, I watched the movie Pay It Forward. And after that, I was inspired to write the book Waves of Kindness. And I actually started writing it. I never got to publish it back then because life got busy. So when I started my Facebook journey 2.5 years ago, I started writing all these inspirational posts and stuff because I knew in the future, when I was ready to write my book, all I had to do was go back, get all those write-ups, put it in, and voila, you got this. So yeah, that's the answer.
Excellent, excellent. So, what do you think? What qualities a writer must have in order to write good books, intriguing books?
Well, in order to write intriguing books, you have to have a good story. And a good story, you can't write a good story without having experience, without living your life. I mean, for example, this book, we could not have written this book if it weren't for our love story, if it weren't for everything we learned about love and everything else. I mean, it's our story. And you might not know it, but every day you're writing your own story without writing it, quote unquote. So the more experiences you experience and stuff, and the more you learn, the better your book will become. And not only that, a good writer has to have perseverance, dedication, and of course, good writing skills.
So, what about the writers who write in fiction? How do they write fiction?
They just have really good imaginations. They're able to. Have you ever heard the saying "sky's the limit"? Well,
Yes.
they don't see the sky. They don't see no limit. So they can imagine practically anything and write about it. So, like, if you want to write a good fiction book, you got to have a good imagination. And if you don't have a good imagination, how can you write a fiction book? That's my opinion, at least.
And so, imagination is natural. You cannot, take it from outside the world.
I mean, well, it depends. I mean, I'll take myself for example. I did not have a good imagination until after I came here, because like, what are the odds that 22? That's how old I was. 22-year-old American girl getting her passport, coming to Canada, and getting married to the celebrity guru Dr. PPP. Like, what are the odds of that? You got to have imagination to have experiences like that. So, and once you start having those experiences in the real world, your mind starts to open up, and then the imagination starts flowing. So, yes, imagination is natural, but you can also get a good imagination by achieving your wildest dreams.
Excellent, excellent. So, tell us a little about your husband. Who is he? What he does?
I'm gonna see. Hold on a second. Well, I
You have to Google it for him.
um, it's not. it's not that. I have his introduction somewhere. Hold on. Yeah, I have his introduction. I want to read his introduction. So give me
Sure.
a sec. There we go.
It would be okay if you say 2 or 3 lines about him, no problem.
Okay, well, all right, that's better. Yeah, so Rehan Patel. Well, let me see it. Well, Rehan Patel is the author of the book "You're the Celebrity," and in this book, he has met 1,000 plus celebrities in the world. So this book that he wrote has not only has all the names of the celebrities that he met, it also has all the stories of how he met them. This book is really inspiring, by the way. And he is the most nicest, the most humblest, the most loving, the most down to earth person I've ever met in my whole life. And once you get connected with him, he'll change your life somehow. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excellent. I would love to connect with him if that is so.
Yeah. I'll connect you both.
Excellent, excellent. So, coming to your interview series, how you started this interview series? What was the inspiration behind that one?
That's a great question. So my current interview series that I have from Me to We with Jasmine Patel, that actually wasn't my first one. The first one that I did was Come Bog with Jazz. And of course, Bog, B-O-G, stood for Be Our Guest. And well, the inspiration behind that, I loved connecting with people. I love learning about people, and I love learning new things from the people I connect with. And not only that, I've been interviewed myself, so I know what it feels like being interviewed. And, I wanted to know how it felt being the interviewer. So I started up my interview series, my first one, did like 75 episodes of that. And then I started my new one, From Me to We with Jasmine Patel. And I've done 9 episodes. Yeah.
Excellent. So you have and me have quite similarities between, like, we love socializing, meeting new people, learning about them, telling
Mm-hmm.
our stories to them. So excellent.
Mm-hmm.
So you have met so many people online and offline. So
Yes.
what have you learned from them so far? I mean, how what was some things that you would want to share with us?
Well, hey Mandy, thank you for watching. I interviewed her the other day. Went really well.
Excellent.
So yeah, so anyways, I learned a lot from everyone I've connected with so far. And the biggest thing that I've learned from them is like I don't have to be scared of people. Like there is a lot of good people in the world. You just have to raise your vibration, and then the like-minded, the good people will start coming into your life. That's the biggest thing I've learned from them.
Excellent. So, how do you prepare for any interview? If I ask you to interview me right now, what would be the preparation?
Well, first I'd get in touch with you, be like, "Hey," and actually I do want to interview you on my show at some point. So
Sure.
yeah, I'd approach, be like, "Hey, Ramat, I'd like to interview you on From Me to We with Jasmine Patel. Let's schedule a date and time to do it." And then that's done. And then I would ask you to send your picture and your introduction. And then I'd make a poster, send it to you. I'd share it all over. And then I would ask you, I'd also ask you what you wanted me to interview you on. Because for me, the interview is all about the guest. If the guest can choose the topic for which they want to be interviewed on, the interview will be a lot more effective and a lot of things will be learned from that. So then, the day of the interview, I'd send you the StreamYard link like a few hours before. Then we have the interview. Yeah. A brief
Excellent.
overview.
Excellent. 2 things I have learned from you now that I'll start following that. Ask the guest which topic he or she is master of, so we could have more productive session.
Yes. And with your show's title and theme, Empowering Minds, you can easily do that.
I'll definitely. Thank you for the suggestion, by the way.
Not a problem.
So, any interesting guests you have experience with? Would you like to share some interesting story? Any occurred to you?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Well, the greatest thing is that with each guest I interview, it's different. Some interviews are more chill, less question-answery sort of thing, and more conversational. And some interviews are more me ask a question, they answer, and voila. Or maybe I do something different that they weren't expecting. So, I'm not sure how to answer this question. But, yeah. It's different with each guest. And, yeah, they have a lot of interesting stories. And there's so many, I can't choose one.
No problem. I just asked, so if you remember any funny incident or interesting incident.
Yeah, I do actually.
Share with us.
So, yeah. So, the 8th episode I did on my current interview series, I interviewed Mandy Robinson, who's watching, I'm sure, right now. And it went really well. It was more chill, I asked her questions, but it was more like conversation. And then, near the end, I asked her to flip to a random page in her poetry book that she wrote. And then I challenged her. I asked her to sing her poem. So, in other words, I challenged her to step outside of her comfort zone and do something that she's never done before. And because of that experience, she's gotten new ideas. She got inspired from that.
So did she actually sing that?
Yeah, she did. I'll send you after we're done here. Whatever. I'll send you the clip of that.
Excellent. Okay. Mm-hmm. So people often ask me that you interview people, you interview your guests. So what is the gain in interviewing people? So I ask you the same question. What is the advantage of interviewing people?
Number 1, you learn new things. Number 2, you get to know more about the person you're interviewing. Number 3, it forms a stronger connection between both you and the guest. And was it number 4? I forgot the number. And not only that, you make new friends. And the most important thing is that it opens up doors. It opens up new opportunities that might not be present before.
Excellent.
And sorry, I wasn't.
Go ahead.
Not only that, you never know that guest or vice versa might connect you, or you might connect them with more people. you just never know.
Yeah, true. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
So, so Jasmine, I've seen your, a human-sized picture in social media incubator by Rehan Allahwala.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, I've seen that. Uh, how did you connect with Sir Rehan, and how did all that happen?
I've been friends with Rehan since May 4th, 2021.
Okay.
And I started following him in December of 2020, and I thought he was amazing. And I loved the work he was doing with connecting people around the world and everything, and promoting them and helping them become successful. So then, I started connecting with the Pakistanis, and they started interviewing me. And then I'm sure Rehan saw those. And he adds me, and we have a live session together the night of the night that we became friends. And then after that, it's like more people followed me and connected with me and stuff, and the rest is history.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, how do you think you inspired the students of Sir Rehan Allahwala?
Well, I think I inspired them, by just, being myself and connecting with people. Like, I lead by example. So I would not tell people, for example, hey, connect with people, talk with them, reach out to them, collaborate with them, if I wasn't doing those things myself. So I think my answer to this question is by leading, by example, by being myself. Yeah.
Excellent. So, do you like traveling much?
Well, my experience coming from the US to Canada, yeah, I loved it. And I want to travel more.
So,
Yeah.
have you been to Pakistan or not?
No, I haven't. But I feel like I've already been there with the amount of friends I have down there.
True, true, excellent.
Yeah.
So, do you want to? Do you wish to
Of
come to
course.
Pakistan?
I've had this wish for the past couple of years.
Excellent, excellent. Be our guest sometime. So, in your profile, in your introduction, you have said that you have some designing skills too. So,
Yes.
how did you gain those skills, and how do you, take advantage from those skills?
Well, I learned those graphic. I do my graphic designing on Canva. I know you know what that is. And believe me, it's not like I snapped my fingers and I became good at it all of a sudden. Nope. I learned all those skills by doing it, by experimenting. And the more I used it, the more things I figured out, and the better my stuff got, and the better I became at graphic designing. So really, if you want to get better at anything, just do it. Don't bother reading the manual, don't bother doing any of that. Just do it, you know? And by doing it, you'll learn even more things.
Excellent. Practice makes one perfect, right?
Perfect. Yes.
Excellent. So, what are your current ventures? What are you working on right now?
Um Current ventures. Well, to be honest, my current one is becoming a permanent resident here in Canada. I've been working on
Okay.
that for a while. Yeah.
So your husband is Canadian, so don't doesn't it work like it?
There's a process called spells of sponsorship that we have to do,
Okay.
and the application is a process, but we're almost done with it. and it's not that bad. Yeah, it should be able. It should be like, okay, he's a Canadian citizen. Okay, I marry him, so I should become one too. But unfortunately, that's not how it works here.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but you're close to be Canadian.
Yes. Well, I'm close to. We're close to submitting that application, and then we'll see. We'll go from there.
Excellent, excellent. So, where do you see yourself in next 5 years? What are your plans?
That question is one of my favorites, and I'm going to be honest and say I don't know. And I'm not even going to bother planning for the next 5 years because I know for a damn fact that no matter how much I plan, I will never end up where I plan to be. Like 2.5 years ago, I was thinking I was going to work as a licensed nursing assistant forever at Meredith Bay, and I was totally wrong. And here I am, and I'm married, and I'm here in Canada. So, yeah, you can plan, but things might not work out the way you thought they might work out.
Of course, you're right. Nobody knows the future is, but
Yes.
we as a human being, we plan and we act according to the plan. So we reach that plan in certain amount of time. So
Right.
that's why I ask my guests. So what was the plan they are having in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I definitely know I'm going to be here in Canada. That's one thing for sure. And in 5 years from now, I know I'll be a Canadian citizen by then. And, but like, yeah, other than that, I'm not really sure.
I guess you have 5 tours of Pakistan in these 5 years.
Yeah, we'll see. Definitely once. Definitely once for sure.
Isn't it less? 5 years, one tour.
Like I said, I don't know anything. I'm not gonna make I'm not gonna make any promises because I don't want to disappoint anyone.
So you're a person who loves to live in the present.
Yes, I do. Well, because the past is gone. It's not like you can go back in a time machine and fix the past, and the future's unknown. All we have right now is the present. And the more you focus on the present and keep going your path, your present will become your future.
True, excellent. So,
Mm-hmm.
talking about the past, now it's come to my favorite question, which is what advice would you give to a 10 years younger version of Jasmine that
Ooh.
you could do, you could have done better there, and now you could have living a better life or something better. So, what would that advice?
And I am going to tell you that I would tell my 10-year-old self to live the life she's living and do everything because I enjoy the life I'm living right now. And if my 10-year-old self would have done anything differently, I would not be here.
So you have lived, the life you wanted to always, and now you're happy with yourself right now.
Of
You haven't
course,
done
I mean, of
anything
course,
you could done better.
there is nothing I could have done better because, look, everything happens for a reason. Everything is connected. You cannot connect the dots forwards, but you can connect the dots backwards. And then once you do that, you'll realize, oh, if it weren't for me doing this, then it wouldn't have led to this, which, if it weren't for this, that wouldn't happen, and that wouldn't happen. So, what I'm saying is, yeah, some parts of my life in the past 10 years, yeah, they were stressful, but it was all worth it because I'm here. So I wouldn't change anything.
The reason behind this question I asked to my guests is because if the younger ones who are watching us, so they could take that advice from us. and implement in their life if they are on, on that age, so they can implement on their lives, so they could do better, which we couldn't in that life.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was one of those trick questions.
No, the idea behind that.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No problem, no problem.
But still, I wouldn't have done anything different though. You know?
Perfect.
I mean, the best advice I can give to these youngsters is, you know, connect with people, you know, be a good human being, be kind, help others, that sort of thing.
By the way, we are youngsters also, we are not that old, but 10-year younger than us.
I know. I know.
Excellent, excellent, Jasmine. We are concluding. So, last, if you want to give any productive message for our audience.
um, be yourself. Don't try to be anyone else. Be the first rate edition of yourself rather than the second edition of someone else. You are original. You are special. There will be no one else in the whole wide world that will be born like you ever again. So be you.
Excellent, excellent, excellent words, Jasmine. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much for your time, your presence on my show. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really learned a lot from you. I really enjoyed this session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a pleasure being on here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So audience, that was Jasmine Patel with us, sharing her experiences, her knowledge. I've enjoyed her company. I hope you have too. So I'll see you next time, next session with next guest. Take care. Bye.